Hello and welcome to episode 435-ish of the DCP podcast plus side quests.
Woo.
Mylan, I got a question
Hello.
for you. How many holes are in a straw?
I'm glad you
many
said
holes in a
straw.
straw?
I didn't know where this was going.
There's one hole in a straw.
But isn't
And
there
an
one
entry and
hole
an
on
exit.
both ends?
It's the same hole.
It's the same hole. It just continues all the way through the straw?
Yep.
What if it's
It's like looking at the
flexi-straw?
top of a well and asking if it's one hole or two.
What's
But
that?
there's a bottom to that hole.
Let's say it. Okay, this is gonna get graphic. Let's say I shot you, Briar.
Yes.
Once. Would there be one hole or two holes in you?
Well, is it a through and
Depends
through?
if it leaves your body.
Through and through.
Through and through?
Through and
Did
through.
the guts like close up?
Is there no obstruction? Like if I can
No,
peek straight
no,
through is what
okay.
he's asking.
Yeah, you know that did you ever watch that movie Kung
Was it like a
Pao?
magic JFK bullet?
Do you remember Kung
Then
Pao?
there's 7 holes.
Well, in the movie Kung Pao, the guy goes,
Kung
"Hi-ya!"
Pao!
and he like punches this
Yes.
perfect hole in the guy.
Underrated movie, by the way.
Yeah.
What
I
if I
remember,
pinch the straw, Mylan?
If you pinch, you know what? Then you've got two holes.
2 holes? What if it's a
Yeah.
flexi straw and I just bend it?
Is the liquid cut off?
No, you can still suck through it.
It's the one hole then.
What if it's like a fun straw, like one of those
Where is
swirly
this
ones?
going?
You know what?
I'm telling you right fucking now. There better be payoff for this. There better be a big payoff for this.
No, I
intro
think Briar's
segment.
onto something because do you think about like if there's a cave, right? And there's on one side of the mountain, there's the entrance hole, and then the other side, there's the exit. If you were going to say, hey, I'm going to go through Mylan's cave up on the mountain, they'd be like, well, which hole are you going in? Are you going in the west hole? Are you going in the east hole? You know what I mean? Even though it's all still connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you
kinda
going
feel
in the
like
sub
that's
hole
two
or the
holes.
blowhole?
Mhm.
And then Briar makes it real weird.
Okay, well, I guess your mouth is connected to your ass. So are we saying that's?
I guess
we
we
saying
all
that's
have
two
one
holes, so-
hole, everybody. All of us.
Is that where this is going? 'Cause I don't like it.
We all have one hole. And that is how we achieved world peace between the genders.
Now we can all use the same bathroom safely. Now we all have one hole.
Now we got that figured out.
Perfect. Alert!
Fantastic.
Alert the
There you
media.
go.
How's everybody doing? Guys, all
You really? There was nothing else to that bit apart from asking about his straw and holes.
No, I was just curious what you thought. Specifically you, Mylan.
Okay. Well, listen. Yeah, I've got a whole pack of Tim Tams I've eaten here. I was on the vodkas playing Battlefield last night. It's been a good evening.
Mylan, are you aware that there's a, I don't know if it's a myth or true, but there's a myth in North America that in Australia, toilets swirl in reverse.
Oh.
Have you
Yeah,
ever heard
that
that?
is a
that
myth.
was a Simpson. That was like a Simpsons thing.
It
It was
a
around
Simpsons
before The
thing,
Simpsons. It was,
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're aware.
Isn't that meant to? I'm aware of the myth. Yes.
Yes. Have you
Yes.
ever like?
Is it a
pretty sure
myth?
it's
You're not telling us. You're being a little cagey about
Yeah,
it.
you're being a
Brian.
little
This is
elusive
some kind
on
of-
this question.
Is it a
to be
country
honest,
secret?
I thought this was
Yes,
going to be another
Australian
Yowie conversation. I never know.
Well, Mylan, I've got
Never know
a.
what mythical Australian creature we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, along those lines, I've got a book that we always do reading with my kids at bedtime every night, and one of the books we read is just a random. It's got a collection of random facts and interesting things. And last night's, I was like, I gotta ask Mylan about this. The like fun fact of the night that it left us with is that in Australia, there's a species of earthworm that grows, anywhere between 3 and 10 feet long. And they're huge, and they gurgle.
fishing with
Like
that.
you can hear them when they're close to the surface because they make gurgling noises.
Oh.
Where are they?
And these are things.
In
Are these the ones on
Australia.
the beach?
I don't
Are
know
those
if they're
beach
the beach.
worms?
I don't know. No, they're
I
called.
can't
They
say
said
I've
they
seen
were
a gi-
earthworms.
I can't say I've seen a
Earthworms.
giant worm.
That's
You guys
a
have
good
10
idea
foot
for.
worms
Yeah,
on
look
the
it up.
beach?
That's a great idea for a FromSoft boss. Like it goes underground and you hear it gurgling, but you can't see it.
Gurgling
I like it. Write that down.
Australian
Get Miyazaki on the phone.
earthworm.
You know,
Get him on the phone.
have you seen the?
Yes, it's a thing. It is a
Okay,
thing.
what's it called? What's it called?
I just googled gurgling Australian earthworm. Likely the giant.
God.
It's called the giant Gippsland earthworm. Giant Gippsland. Gippsland.
Yeah.
They've got videos of it gurgling. Oh, I gotta hear
There's-
it.
This-
It's gotta be
Oh,
messed
that
up.
is. I don't know
Oh,
what
that's
books you're reading,
gross.
but I don't really want to.
Hey, we have a thumbnail.
and a worm. Yeah, I like
you go.
it.
Gurgling Australian
Enjoy,
earthworms.
chads.
Oh my god, that thing looks like
Oh.
a snake.
Does look like a snake. Wow.
Are these
And you haven't
specific to
encountered one yet?
Australia?
Probably.
No, I don't
mean-
like.
You've
I
lived in
don't like
Australia your
this
whole
at
life. You
all.
haven't run into those.
No, I don't like this at all.
I mean, Australia's not like Rhode Island. There's lots of different places.
It's kind of big, I
It's
suppose.
kind of big.
It's kind of big. Right.
Anyhow.
Well, any other Australian questions I can answer for you? Oh God.
Watch, did you
No,
finish
never
up Wu
seen
Chang yet?
I did.
What'd you end
did.
up thinking about that game?
I ended up really liking it.
Yeah.
I think that it really excels in level/world design because it's all connected. And I'd really like that the exploration feels like really good. Basically, if there's a shortcut, you're like, it feels like there should be a shortcut right now. There's gonna be a shortcut there. Yeah, I felt all of that was really great. The spells that you get and the options for combat, I think, are also really great.
Yeah.
They look really cool. They feel cool to use. Yeah. I do think that they falter on like boss combat design. I think a lot of the bosses look really cool, but also a lot of them have infinite stamina. They don't stop going, and then it ends up that, oh, well, the way that you defeat all of these bosses is by heavy attacking them in the back. And that's what you end up doing because there's no other way to like stop them from moving. So, but a lot of the like monster enemies actually felt a bit better in that terms. I think like they had a combo they did and then they stopped, and then a combo they did and then they stopped. Whereas the humans were just go 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 go, never stop. But even then, I think their enemy combat design is good. I don't think it's bad. I'd probably give it like maybe a 6 for combat, like enemy design, but then the level design and stuff I'd go much higher.
Yeah, I agree with basically everything you said there. I really did enjoy the fact that you could just like at on a whim switch your weapon type and just completely build out a
Yeah.
skill tree, and you're just like you're basically, if you were on your short sword, you can just like move everything over to the great axe, and you're just like you're completely leveled up to where you were with the short sword. I thought that was pretty fun.
I really enjoyed that as well. Yeah, you could have like a +7 one-handed sword, and then you could have a +7 great axe because all of your
Yeah.
axes are now leveled up, and because it's all done in the tree. I think that was a really good way of doing it because I tried different builds the whole way.
Did you end up having a favorite
Really enjoyed
weapon or like a weapon class?
I think the one that I ultimately ended up really liking was doing the one-handed sword feathering build specifically. So using all of the feathering magic, and for those who haven't played, magic is like ice and there'll be fire and like magical stuff. And then feathering would be corruption, poison, and then if it's not that, it's like kind of darker magic, like wings and spears and that kind of stuff. So
I felt
I
that
ended up liking those ones.
I felt like that was ended up being the hardest way, especially on the bosses, like toward the end of the game, because it just
Yeah.
didn't do the damage that you wanted to get done. So you really had to be good at dodging.
I think I ended up I don't think this was like a necessarily good way of actually no, it ended up being a pretty good way. I ran a build where I had increased damage, they do less damage, and I take less damage when they're blighted. So I would
Mm.
blight them, and then I would use the big like stabbing spear feather attack while they were blighted. So it would do like a ton of damage. I did really enjoy that. Also, the downside of the one-handed sword, because it's essentially like a glorified wand,
Yeah.
is that you don't do any like stagger damage buildup at all. But with the spear spell, it does a ton of buildup.
Oh, does
So
it?
that was kind of, yeah, and it would knock the humans over. They just fall over. You just knock them in the air and they fall over
I
and over
really
again.
liked using the great axe. Like that was kind of like my favorite one, just because it felt so
Yeah.
damn powerful, and it though like
And
the
leaping in the air.
animation and the sound was just like "Pata!" It just felt like good, you know, especially
Yeah.
in boss fights. But when I really had to, like, okay, it's time to get shit done here. It was the long sword, the two-handed sword, all the way.
I
It was just
I
so
stayed
powerful.
away from the longsword because I would a lot of the time what I do if I'm enjoying just about every weapon, I'll look through the directory and see what people are using, and it was like longsword, longsword, longsword,
Yeah.
longsword, longsword, and I'm like, okay, I want to. If I wasn't streaming, then like who cares? But I
He's
always
calling you a
like,
basic bee,
let me use something.
Briar.
That's okay.
Well, it's clearly the
Have
it's
you
the
watched her play these
canon
games?
weapon.
She's way better than I am.
It's the cannon weapon for sure. And there was one that I really wanted to use. It was like a corruption longsword.
Mm.
But I did end up really enjoying some of the builds that I did. I was lucky enough to figure out some of the side quests myself, and I got a blight specific spear
Mm.
where it has a discipline attack where you could blow up the blight damage. So what blight does in this game is that it lowers their health for a certain amount of time, but then after it basically goes away and doesn't really do anything. But if you have the spear, it will lower their health, you'll blow up that damage, and then it stays off of their health bar. So that was really nice.
Yeah,
That
I
was my
ended
one
up
too.
really being
That's what
impressed
I
by the
ended the
game.
game with.
Especially like it's a $50 game.
$50
You know, like
on Game Pass.
yeah, it's on Game Pass. Like it just like it was better than I thought it was going to be going into it. I think especially what
Yeah,
you're
me
saying
too.
that the exploration felt really good until like the last level. I just didn't love the
The
last
capital.
level. Yeah.
The
Especially
capital
it was named
sucks.
the capital. So I was like, when do we get to like, you know, this like cool Chinese capital? You know, like no, that's not what they
You're
mean.
in it. I
Yeah.
fell through the elevator a couple times trying to get off too early. So this
But
area, by the way, is like ledges, and there's like laser beams shooting you, and then there's an enemy shooting balls at you, and then there's an enemy right in front of you that you have to kill, and then you're getting corruption, which does damage over time the entire way.
yeah.
Oh,
It's that
so is
for,
this
like,
the
the whole
game where
thing.
you had to wear the corruption panties?
Yes.
Yes, the spare
Yes.
panties. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I'm ordering a pair off of Amazon for myself. I really like them.
Or are you just that paranoid about the corruption debuff IRL?
Hey, look, despair can hit you
Just want to be
anytime.
prepared.
You know,
It really can. It really
you gotta
can.
have a pair of panties to clear that up.
Yeah, you could find out that you haven't been paid by somebody who owes you money.
Mm.
Put
Could
on
be
your
feeling a
despair
little down
panties.
about it. Put on the despair panties.
I feel like I've had my despair panties on all week.
Yeah,
There is
I
actually
really recommend the
recent
game
news
though. At this point,
with
yeah,
Wu Chang.
that's the thing. I kind of wanted to lead up to, right? Is they just released a massive patch, which players have been really looking forward to, because they announced like 2 weeks ago that they were going to change two of the biggest issues a lot of people have had. One is that the get up animation, like once you've been knocked over, which happens a lot against bosses in this game, your animation to like stand up is really long, and you're vulnerable kind of while that's happening, which can lead to bosses basically just like pile driving you, you know, like you just can't get out of the way. And once you play for a while, you kind of figure out ways to kind of avoid that, either by like kind of slowly getting up and letting them attack and then you get up kind of. But they increase the speed of that animation, and they also increase the speed of the animation to heal.
Yep.
Which I haven't tried yet, and I'm kind of glad that I've finished with the game before they
Me
made
too.
these changes, because they also made some really weird changes
Yes.
to characters,
I want
like
to talk
boss
about that.
characters. Do you want to explain that?
Yes. So, Wu Chang was initially getting review bombed by a certain group of people in China. Now, I don't speak Chinese, so it's very hard to get like the actual full-fledged story of what is going on. But the basics of it is that Wu Chang, it's not a historically accurate game, but it's set during a historical period. And so all the people that are in the game are some of them are mythical, some of them are actually based on real people. And you were able to kill a certain Chinese ethnic group of farmers in the game. And they were getting review bombed, and people were saying that they're being traitors because of the people that you can kill in the game, basically. So
Right.
there was a ton of pushback, not from the government. Like, the game in China, I don't think you can get it on Steam, but like, you can't. They don't have a license to sell it. But they were getting a lot of pushback and a lot of negative. Is everything okay, bro? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
A little choppy.
They were
We're
getting.
okay.
Oh,
We're
no.
getting through it.
They were okay.
Oh, it was either internet or you shat your pants. One or
I
the
was
other.
gonna say that's the face. What it looked
It's a
like.
totally different face when I shit my
Like,
Like, I
pants.
thought,
gotta
holy
go.
crap, Brian's going.
More like a-
Brian's in the trenches right now.
Jesus Christ.
so warm.
I've been there.
So they had a bunch of pushback for this stuff. So in the most recent, and the patch notes say, optimized the exhaustion animation for certain NPCs. And what this means is that you cannot kill any historically significant bosses or NPCs. Instead, they just get tired after a fight and they go, "Oh, you've bested me, good chap. I'm going to take a nap."
Jolly ho. Yeah, right.
Jolly ho, that was good.
Cheerio.
And I'm leaving. Cheerio. So they also removed the pray gesture, which you got from a Portuguese Christian character. That is no longer in the game. The entirety of chapter 4 is really easy because 50% of the enemies are now non-hostile to the player because it's a
Wow.
rebellion attack. So you can't attack them and they won't attack you. Yeah, so there's a lot of them. I've actually been following someone, he's called Lance McDonald on Twitter. He's playing through the game again and trying to see all of these changes. And yeah, they don't die. They go, "Oh, that was a trial, and you are free to go, sir. I'm a little tired, so I'm not going to stop you." It's all just that kind of stuff. You can take pictures right next to the bosses now because they're just like tired. Yeah. So there's a lot. Like there is a lot.
That's wild.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know. Well, like, I don't know enough about it to really give too much comment
Sure.
on
Yeah.
any of that.
Certainly don't want to
Yeah.
offend a cultural, icon or something. I don't know.
Well, apparently
It's
the
just-
creator of the
yeah.
game, or like the head of the studio, had been warned about this ahead of time, that this would be a
Apparently, yeah.
culturally sensitive issue, and just
Uh-huh.
kind of ignored the warnings and plowed ahead. And then once the game was released, like it really became, like the warnings were correct. So yeah, like I don't know the culture, so I don't really know
Yeah.
which side I would fall on, but it does suck for the game being kind of weird now.
Well, then also because I'm pretty sure it was I don't know how many people have that opinion, of course, but apparently it wasn't. It was like more of a fringe group who wanted them to change it. So they're also getting attacked now by Chinese players who were like, "Why would you do that? That's stupid. Like, why would you give in
you
to
can't
pressure
Have
win.
we
from this group of
fallen into
people?"
like a woke debate in a different language? Is that what's happening?
Right.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Huh.
Yep. Yep. So it's all I can say is I'm glad that I finished it when I did because I've played it in the vision that the developers had. It sucks that people who were maybe waiting for this update to drop because of the
I think a lot
positive
of people
changes are
were,
now
yeah.
like a lot of people were, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But if you get a physical copy on like a console, you can play. Just disconnect your console from the internet. You can play the OG patch.
Plays awesome
Oh,
on the
okay.
PlayStation Pro, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, it is. I'm having a look here. It is proper 50-50. It's 45,000 negative reviews and 41,000 positive on Steam.
It did, and that's up from what it was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, and some of these negative reviews now are people being like, it doesn't make any sense to comfort fragile Chinese nationalism. I was enjoying
Well,
the game,
I would
but
love a neutral party explanation of this.
Summation, yeah,
Someone
no
that could
kidding.
break
Yeah.
down the history of this and why it's insensitive and what the hubbub is, and that's fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
because
Wow.
it's not just like a couple things, right? Like if the bosses, they, you defeat them and then they kind of just like nap or they're tired or something, that's not as bad. But changing voice lines and changing a whole chapter to essentially be
Right.
like a worse version of itself,
Yeah.
is crazy.
There's
Crazy.
there's decisions you can make that would make chapter 4 like the last chapter you play, like the final level of the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
would be crazy to just like walk through the last level of the game. That would
Yeah.
be weird.
It's crazy. It's weird. They've
Isn't
now
that
made
the one
they've
where
made
you're
it
like
weird.
fighting through like the temple area?
Ooh, I can't remember. It's during the rebellion. It might be, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the rebel camp, I think.
Jeez.
Right.
Crazy.
Might have to watch
Yeah.
a video. Hopefully, I can find someone that can
Yeah, I'm
explain
sure.
the situation.
If you can speak Chinese, please contact us.
Yeah.
I would
I'd love to
like
know
you
more.
to investigate and tell me what's going on.
I feel like
Mhm,
I could be taken advantage of so easily though. Like somebody could just
Sure.
like
Oh,
explain it
definitely, yeah.
to their point of view. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah,
That's right.
okay, that makes sense. Having no like background knowledge on any of it.
And was this straight away? Because I feel like this, I didn't hear about this on release. Has this slowly been bubbling away?
It has
Or is
been.
it just
Yeah.
It got review bombed pretty quickly when it came
okay?
out. Um,
Right.
but this patch came out like what? Yesterday? 2
It's
days?
kind of reignited the conversation, I guess, because they removed stuff.
Like I think it's almost like, and not to the same extent, but it's like imagine your country won a war, and then you kind of place the game where you play as like kind of the other side, right? And you kind of revisionist history it in the game. I don't know, like imagine
I mean,
like you play
this
as the
is
South in the Civil War and you win.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you do have games like that though. Like I mean,
You
Hell
do.
Let Loose, you play as Nazis. You play as that. You play as the Germans during.
Why would I
during
ever
World War
want to do
II,
that? One of
so-
the most fun things to do in all of video games is kill Nazis.
Kill Nazis. Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah.
like the best.
Yeah.
There should be more games about it. And frankly, we're getting new Nazis all the time, so keep them coming.
But so if they literally just made it's just like easy content, the game is literally called Kill Nazis.
Killing Nazis.
It's just like every level is just a new way to approach killing Nazis. You'd be in.
Love it. Yeah, I would buy that game.
You want to do it on a boat? We got a level for that.
Let's
You
do
want to
it.
do it?
Boat Nazis.
Yeah, do it on a train. We'll do a train one.
All right.
Weird story. Yeah. It's weird. I'm definitely, yeah, I don't agree. Whatever it's doing and whoever they're killing, I don't agree with completely changing your game for the worse because some people are upset about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It stinks that it kind of breaks up the narrative of the game and kind of ruins parts of the game.
It does, yeah.
Hopefully they can fix it, or at least make that like a Chinese only change, and like the rest of the world can have like.
It's too gory to even be like actually sold in China.
Oh really? So they don't even
Yeah.
play it in China?
No, they don't. I don't
That's
think
so
they
weird.
have been able to get a license to actually sell it there.
So I picked up a PlayStation Portal, which is like the
Oh,
handheld that you play attached to a PlayStation, not physically attached, but like through Wi-Fi. I think you can do it over cellular as well. Like you don't have to be in your home Wi-Fi anymore. You can do it remotely. And I
Yes,
tried to
I heard
play a
about that.
little bit of Wu Chang, and I tried to play a little bit of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. No, not happening.
really?
Too much. There's
Oh.
just too much lag.
Damn.
Really?
I
not
suppose
good.
if you were playing a game that had like it was a little less about parrying and
Sure.
dodging out of the way and like fast like reaction times like Wu Chang and Ragebound both are, I might have been a little more forgiving, but man, it was the latency, because these things work where your controls get sent to the console and then the video gets sent to your handheld. And it just felt like there's too much of a lag, even when you're like spinning the camera around. You just didn't hit that spot like you're used to.
Sure. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's all just like, and it's, I'm sure it's milliseconds, but man, it was so immediately noticeable. I ended up returning it. Like I didn't even want to fuck with it anymore. It was like, it was like, I wouldn't call it unplayable, but it was not a pleasurable experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It was
too bad.
really
That's not good.
comfy, and what a beautiful screen on the thing. Like other than the fact that it was, unplayable, it was a great experience because you're holding like a
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 controller, which is really a comfortable controller in my opinion.
Yeah, no
The
doubt.
thumbsticks, like the little mushroom top, the mushroom cap, a little smaller. Don't know why they had to do that. They had enough room to put just like a full size thumb grip on there, but I don't know. Other than that, it was very comfortable. It was lightweight. The battery seemed to last a long time. The screen was huge and bright and really looked good. It only runs at 60 FPS, I believe, but for handheld, fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I ended up returning it almost right away, like hours later after I brought it home.
I played this and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Thank you. What we've been playing this week.
I have news.
Mhm.
What do you
Alright.
got?
Okay. First, we'll start with Night Rain. Because
Okay.
Goatman has hands. And actually, he does. He has a hand attached to his staff.
I have news. The goat
is it?
man had hands.
The Goatman has
So the
multiple
slow
hands.
build up, like she was
Goatman
dropping some huge
has-
bomb of it.
24 hands. Nope. Maybe more. Maybe more than 24 hands. So if you don't know what Elden Ring Night Rain is doing, they're bringing out hard mode versions of all of their bosses. They're called Everdark. This week is Libra. It's the goat man. He inflicts you with madness. He casts spells and he does like a big meditation thing and then goes nuts. He's always been the one that we've been like, ugh, when he's hard mode. I don't know about that one. Well, now what he does is there will be a moment where he summons clones of you. So he will summon, if you're in a team of 3, he will summon 3 people and they will be the characters that you are playing. And they won't necessarily be using the weapons that you're using either. So it's quite unpredictable. It's not like you can just be like, I'm just going to get one good weapon and the rest crap to try and get these clones to use crappy stuff against me. You can't do that. So they will start attacking you and you're like, okay, just kill the guys. It's okay. Well, he has a bunch of other things that he does. So he can do, I sent this to Mylan, so don't look at it. I said, okay. So one of the things he can do, he can shroud all allies. So all of your teammates go invisible. This means that if you are downed, you cannot lock onto them, nor can you see their body. But you can see swirly purple visual effects of an enemy being, a friendly being downed. The other thing that he will do is called False Blessing, where every time you use your HP flask, it will not use it. However, you will lose a level every time you take a sip.
Oh.
He has another one called Inescapable Eye, where it has no good effect for you at all. It will just build up madness meter when visible, and eventually you proc madness and bada bing bada boom. He then has another one called Preach Madness, where he adds madness status buildup to your attacks and the NPCs. So everyone's inflicting madness everywhere. Could go well for you, could go
You
bad.
get madness and you get madness and
Everyone's
you
got
get madness.
The other thing he does is called Incite Riot, where he doubles the number of NPCs that he summons. So if he summons 3, he's summoning 6. So you have 6 NPCs running around and
How
this
tough are
boss.
the NPCs?
They're not that bad, but they hurt really bad. Like you can get them down kind of fast, but they are very, very painful. And then there's another thing that he does where he puts like he cuts the map into 4 segments with a light wall. And if you go anywhere near that light wall, you lose a ton of health. And then he has another thing that he does where he just reduces your max HP by 50%. And you have to survive, and then eventually it will go back up.
What a dick. He doesn't
That
sound like the
sounds
goat at all.
awful.
It's and the whole time he's attacking you, he's summoning circles on the floor, he's doing madness stuff out of the sky the entire time. It feels like you're playing an MMO raid boss.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
How do you feel about the difficulty level?
I don't know if I can clear this guy unless I go solo. I've actually heard that solo is not bad at all.
Does he
because
scale?
He scales, but also he'll only be summoning 1 person. So even if he doubles it, it's 2, you know? So if you're even if you're 3 people dealing with 6, it's like way harder to manage than 1
Yeah.
person dealing with 2. Because some of the NPCs, like we actually had a run where there were 2 wilders with great bows, and they were both sitting there spamming aerial attacks. We're just running for our lives.
Sounds kind of cool.
So honestly, it's crazy, but I actually do enjoy it, and I want to play more of it because I think it's so well designed for what he is. He's the goat of madness, and he's making you like not be able to see things. He's making you see double. He's making you like I really do enjoy it.
I think the only thing I think when I hear that is like, yeah, I want to play more of that and learn it, but it's like you've got to get through a full run to experience it again. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like Elden Ring
Yeah.
when you got a checkpoint just there and you can run back and you can learn it and practice it and then like slowly get it. You kind of get 1 shot every 40
yeah.
minutes.
Right,
tough.
right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you reckon it would be good to have like a boss battle practice mode, some like an arena boss mode where you could practice and they could go a little bit crazier with the mechanics like that and start making them feel even more tough? Because I feel like we kind of smash through it, right? And you're just really trying to get your build ready, and then you get to the boss and it's like, it's so hard compared to everything else you've done in the run.
Yeah.
And then it feels like Dark Souls. And you're like, oh shit, now we are playing
It
Dark Souls.
extends
Not
your
just like,
playtime though, huh?
yeah, yeah.
It keeps
We're
you
not just
going.
we're not just ganking everyone and like stunning them. Like I like it. I think more mechanics is good. It is a bit rough though. I think if you're only getting to look at the mechanics every 40 minutes or so, or however long it takes to get to the boss.
Yeah,
and
it's
see- and
definitely
see
tough. Like
everything.
honestly, Caligo last week, which is the frost dragon, that was also a pretty tough fight. All of the ones
Yeah.
before that, I mean, maybe you're doing it once or twice, maybe before
Yeah.
you're successful. So this is really the only ones that we've gotten where it's like you might spend a while trying to get it down.
Yeah.
It's
What's
crazy.
up with the weird naming? You know, Libra is not a goat, right? That's
I don't.
Capricorn is a goat.
They have bunch of names. Like they'll have the name of the quest, and then they'll have the name of the boss, and it will be like different. So
What's the name of the boss?
Oh, I don't know the full thing.
Goaty
I don't
McGoatface?
freaking know.
Goaty
Something like that.
McGoatface.
Goaty 28 hands?
Oh, they also brought out duo mode. It's a good reminder. Yeah, they now have a duo mode because they only launched with solo and trio. So now you can load in with duo and it properly scales for 2 people. It makes
Oh, that's
sense.
good.
It feels great. Yeah, it feels like exactly where you would expect it to be for duo. It's also really nice as duo because you obviously matter more. Like what you're doing individually matters more than when you're in a trio. But you have someone else to kind of fall back on. So yeah, I think it feels great. I really, really like the duo mode. It's good.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
I checked out Dungeon Stalkers. Have
What's
you guys
that?
heard about this?
No.
Oh wait, was this? I think this was a game I was going to tell you about.
Yeah, it's an
Maybe.
extraction.
late.
Is it an extraction
This
game?
was what I was going to tell you about. Yeah. I saw a trailer for it, and I was like, I should just tell Mylan about this because he looks like he would like.
If you ever played Dark and Darker, so Dark and Darker is an extraction, and Dark and Darker was the only extraction game after I've played Tarkov that I really liked. And I played a lot of
yeah.
different ones. And then Dark and I just slowly fell off Dark and Darker. I mean, I think a lot of
PvP
extraction
games,
games go like that. Like ends up being like balancing, and there's only so much like dying you can take and losing your gear before people might get frustrated. I think Dark and Darker kind of fell into that trap. But overall, I think that was really good for the genre. It is almost exactly the same, but third person with gooning. Like just big bazookas, and it's not the gun bazookas. And like when your armor breaks, you basically go down to your underwear. So so you have like armor durability, so you'll be getting into a fight. Then I'm like, wow, I got into a fight. I'm like, I'm naked.
What was that game that Briar was playing? The like mech game or something that he was like, I don't know if I like this.
Oh yeah, that was way too creepy.
And then you got, what was it called when you got broke?
Yeah,
like,
I
it was
can't
something.
remember. It was
It was
really
obscene.
disgusting. Yeah,
Was it Mecha Break? What
obscene.
no.
No,
Let me see if I can.
it was
find
like when you broke the armor, it was something called, it was like ego break or something crazy. Yeah, Briar was uncomfortable with that game. So something similar.
I mean, this
Oh, was it this
called
one?
Caladrius Blaze, and I can't remember what the
Caladrius
break was
Blaze.
called, but I mean, the gimmick of this was you would the worse you beat up on the bosses, the more naked the boss character would get.
Okay.
And one of the girls canonically in the game was like 12 years old. Like,
Yeah.
she was like a 12-year-old girl in like. This wasn't like, oh, there's a demon that looks like a 12-year-old girl, so we can like justify our pedophilia. No, it was gross.
Yeah, that's a hard no.
Yeah,
They're not 12 in Dungeon Stalkers, though, from
That's
what I can
good.
tell. Certainly not. Very not 12.
Yeah. Either way, I was interested just checking it out because I did like Dark and Darker and anything like in that genre. I think like extraction shooters mixed with like dungeon crawlers, I think is like a cool genre mix. Because you start adding magic and corridors, and the pacing can be quite nice. And you get monsters and skeletons, and so like, and you have bosses in this too. But there were no Oceania servers, and the connection was absolutely awful. And if you want to see like how quickly an extraction shooter dies if you don't have good connection, go play Dungeon Stalkers. I don't think it's going to be around for long.
Oh,
I mean, I know it's in early access, but like this is when you do an extraction shooter, man, you can't be dying and like not see how you died and like just get lagged and people just teleporting over the place and then lose all your gear. Like, cool. People will just literally quit on that one game alone if that happens. And unfortunately, the servers weren't there for me. So I don't know how it feels with other people, but it is third person rather than first person. And it was a bit hard to play with the lag as well and to really give it a good shot. But I had like 4 or 5 games and it wasn't really clicking. It was like trying to play Devil May Cry with an extraction shooter. There was a lot of visual effects on the screen. I think that's also really hard to get into because you need to, be able to make plays and see what you're doing and see your targets. And it was a lot of like visual clutter happening. And that could just be like getting used to it. If I go watch League of Legends, I'll be like, oh my God, I don't know what the hell is going on the screen. But eventually you get used to it. But
yeah.
In League of Legends, you don't lose your entire account when you die, right? So it's like there's got to be enough of appeals to be like, oh yeah, I'll get back in there, and I didn't feel that pull to get back in, and it really wasn't much point without a good server connection. So
yeah, I saw a review call it thick and thicker, and I like that.
That's holy. These things bounce, man. Oh my God, I'm watching gameplay right now.
Yeah.
We got
Oh,
some
man.
chickies.
And I mean, the thing is, it is a clone of Dark and Darker. It really is. Like from the loot you pick up, the style. Dark and Darker did this thing where you had blue teleporters, and if you found a blue teleporter, you'd get out of the raid. If you found a red teleporter, it takes you down to a higher level area, down to like a deeper dungeon, and there'll be more bosses and there's harder enemies, but you get better loot, and you can like go down tiers. It does exactly the same stuff. Similar like classes, set up, magic, very similar like stat points distribution where you get gear that gives you +1 strength, +1, so you're playing all that game as well, which is, often the fun part with these extraction ones is like making a build on the fly and getting the right gear. But yeah, if it was smooth, maybe I would give it a little bit longer. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it needs a little bit more time in the cook. It is early access, so I will probably revisit it, and maybe they have more servers and they can get it right. But I mean, imagine playing For Honor without good like connection on melee swings.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
and you lose your gear. So it's like, when you have these like PvP games that are melee, like the connection is like so important. And if you don't have servers for your region, then there's no point playing them. So
Yeah.
How much?
Well,
how much
speaking of
room do you
Gooner
think
games-
in the market? I'm sorry, TV. How much room do you think in the market is there for all these extraction games that are coming out?
I think a lot of people are getting them wrong, man. And Arc Raiders, I think, is the only one to get it right since Tarkov. So I think there's room there. I just think it's not as simple as I think people think, where you can just kind of put a blueprint in for, oh yeah, we'll just like blueprint that and we'll make it an extraction shooter, and that will be the exciting part of it, is you lose all your gear. Like, I think it's there's a lot of complexity to it. I think it's like anything. I think you want devs that are like really into the genre and understand the genre to make those kind of games.
It's
Otherwise,
not a cheap
it just doesn't
genre
feel
to
right.
create for, because you got to keep up the servers. Like, there's got to be like quite a bit of live service cost to it, right? Like, you got to change.
Well, I mean,
these
that's
games.
the thing. It's a cheat as well. It's the anti-cheat's got to be really up to grade. It's your like servers and like your connections and stuff like that. And I think at a higher level than, I mean, I guess all PvP games need to be at the high level, because if you don't have that stuff, that's what destroys your game, right? Like, talking about cheaters, Battlefield 6, and now it's like 300,000 people something got.
That's crazy.
Cheating?
That's nuts.
Is that the number?
Right. Yeah, it was something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I just saw the cat girl one blowing up everywhere this morning when I got up.
Yeah.
It's like, I wasn't cheating. It's like the gun's just jumping all over the screen.
Yeah. That's been an interesting debate. A lot of people are like defending them, and
A lot of people are saying
like,
it's not cheating, and that like that is now like what people can do aim wise if they, practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one from someone who was a former cheat dev, and they were like, they're not cheating. She's moving her hand, and her sensitivity is probably really high and practiced a lot. But I'm like, but you're right, TV. Like, that is when you were like playing Apex or something, you would watch for that movement to go, that person is definitely cheating.
Also, I do not believe the cheat dev or anything they say.
Look, I saw it. There was a bunch of them. I was like, yeah, that's just like really good. The only one I was like, well, they did flick and start trying to shoot through a rock. And I know there's a radar, and I know there's a map, and I know you flick, but like, you're flicking and pre-firing before you even see the target. That's the bit I was like, I don't know. Either way, you know what the great thing about Battlefield is? And this is what I love seeing on my feed. No one gives a shit about montages in Battlefield. People love stupid stuff in Battlefield. People love when a guy goes, first time in the helicopter, dude gets in, and a jet, a body of a jet falls out of the sky.
Right.
Blows him up, and he's like, yeah, good one. Good
stuff.
And then, that's a guy, doing a dolphin dive into a paddle. I enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Those Battlefield moments are the things that are the most fun parts. Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of skilled FPS players trying Battlefield and going on crazy montages, but it's nothing super new, because it's kind of what Battlefield is. There's so many people. If you get a good flank, like, and you're in the right positioning, like, you can rack up some kills.
True. Yeah.
But I think people play for the bombastic and the silliness and the vehicles and all the other things that come with Battlefield. We can talk about it if you want, because I've played a bunch of Battlefield. Did anyone else jump in, or just me?
I wanted to, but like I was telling you guys before we started, I got like a sponsored deal to check out an expansion to a different game I can talk about later because they had new content just go live. But I had to devote all my weekend to that. But yeah, tell us about your Battlefield experience.
I've loved it. So I pretty much exclusively played Battlefield before Destiny as like the only game I really played. I just played Battlefield. I just fuck around Battlefield, snipe, jump in helicopters, jump in tanks, very casually. But I haven't really played since Battlefield 3 and then 4, because I think 4 just came out before Destiny, so I would have played some 4 as well. I think it feels back to pretty close of just that bombastic goofiness, like, you know, we had 7 engineers healing a tank, you know, the tank's going to battle, like, get behind, everyone's got their blow torches out as you go into like a tank battle. It feels fun to do stuff like that. They have this drag revive mechanic, which I think is really good. It's very functional. So when someone's down, you basically like grab them by the scruff of the neck and start dragging them. You can control where you drag them, so you can drag them back behind cover. And you're rezzing them at the same time. The medic or the support class rezzes them quicker, but it surprisingly works a lot. You can grab them from a little bit far away too. So like they can just be out of cover and you can just grab them, pull them behind a barricade and start rezzing. And it's functional. It looks cool. It adds to like just the experience of Battlefield, which is really, really nice. So I like the drag revive. Vehicle gameplay is very satisfying. All the sound effects are usually always on point. Feel really good. Been playing a lot of in the tank and driving the tank. Huge roles for engineers to like heal you. They actually feel like super powerful if you have a whole squad like healing you. But everything you would probably expect from vehicle combat. Unfortunately, we haven't had like a huge amount of aerial stuff. Like there's only been one map that has the helicopters, and like mother truckers, I swear, must be on Cronus's to get access to the helicopters, because I'll sit there like slamming E and I've never got in the helicopter. I'm like, I just want to have a shot in the helicopter. I can't get in. And there's obviously people that are incredibly good, and there are other people like me that immediately crash it. So I would love to see some other maps. The maps in general, I think, plays out like pretty typical Battlefield. You're like, I don't like this. I'm spawning, dying. Like there's people everywhere killing me. And then once you start like working out the flow of the map and where people are spawning and like what angles you should cover, they start to feel a lot better. There is one map and mode that I think feels the worst balance wise. There's a mode called Breakthrough where you have attackers and defenders. So you're always coming from a certain angle and you've got to capture a point. Sometimes it's a single point, sometimes it's a double point. Once you get that point, you move to the next sector and you try to push the enemy back, the defending enemies all the way back to like the HQ essentially. It's on the only like really open map at the moment. And if you get a team that really knows what they're doing, they can just basically lock down every lane, and it's so hard to get anything going. And the only way that we've been able to get stuff moving is doing really good tank plays, and maybe that's how they want it. But like, if someone gets in the tank and they just drive it in and lose it, like, you know, you're basically 90% likely going to lose the match. Like you just like they're going to play really careful, support the infantry, slowly move up. And I think I've only ever seen like actually push to the HQ and win like a couple times out of like, I don't know, 24 hours of playing. So there might be some more balancing around like spawn points and how quickly they can spawn back in and how quickly they defense. Because
how'd you feel about the TTK? I saw
I really
some mixed reactions to.
I think the time to kill is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It's definitely, I think it's quicker than other Battlefields. And I think it's a factor of some of the maps are pretty close quarters too. There's lots of corridors in the maps that we got to play during the beta, and definitely people have been asking for like larger maps. So it could be that as well. I mean, the shotgun one-shots you at like, you know, close-ish range, especially if you aim it, and just one-shot body shots you. The snipers one-shot headshot you. I think people probably complain about the shotguns. I don't have a huge issue with them because like they drop, the range drops off fairly, quickly. So I don't have a huge issue with that. The only issue I really have with any of the weapons is the sniper rifle glint is kind of crazy. I think it needs to be there, but it's like
Yeah.
fucking what's the dude that makes Transformers? That's like
Michael Bay.
Michael. It's like a Michael Bay movie when you like go around a corner, like the lens flare is insane. But in general, I think the time to kills, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It's not Call of Duty, but it's not as slow as maybe previous Battlefields.
Okay.
I think it feels pretty good, especially if you get headshot. I mean, if you get headshots, they drop even quicker. Right. What else have I got? In general, I just like how you can. It's a Battlefield game. You can be on the leaderboard with like 0 kills. You can be
Right,
at the top, just putting down supports, defibbing people, putting up barrack, and just being a team play, healing tanks. Like we had like a whole squad at the top of the leaderboard with 0 kills, just sitting on repair tools, right? As you get, and that's like kind of what I like.
Do you feel like class
Battlefield.
identity is really strong?
I think that's probably one of the weaker areas. The
Okay.
engineer and the support class, I think, have really strong identities. Engineer gets your classic like RPGs, anti-airs, repair tools. The support now is a mixture of like medic and whoever used to have the support bag. So you actually put down a support bag that gives you ammo and health, and they can put up a barricade, and they got a quick revive on the drag, and they got defibs for an instant revive. So I think those classes are pretty well sorted. There's a lot of like differences in opinion with the assault and the sniper. So the sniper gets a adrenaline shot that allows you to. There's a bunch of stuff. I think it lets you sprint, and I think you even get like some visibility on the map. There's another like super ability you get, which I'll talk about in a sec, which is kind of interesting. They also can have 2 primaries, so that you get like you can run an assault rifle and a shotgun, and then you've got your adrenaline kit as well. The sniper and they've also got a grenade launcher, so blow up walls, and they can make it like a flame grenade launcher, so you like set people light. The sniper has a recon, like a spawn kit, so people can spawn off it, and also like a motion sensor. And apparently they're going to move the spawn kit to the assault class. And this is where it gets all like jumbly, because they want the assault class to be the front line and to be making spawns and pushing flanks and stuff like that. The base is that we don't want you to use spawn to be a camping sniper. Which I'm like, well, isn't that the point? Like, that's why they got him. Like, you used to climb, you'd spend 10 minutes climbing a crane and then put a spawn big at the top so you have to climb it. Like, isn't that kind of the point? So they've made a post and said that they're going to move the spawn beacon to the assault class. We want that to be the front runner. The issue is right now is they have 2 modes. One is with open weapons, one is with closed weapons. So closed weapons locks off certain guns from certain classes. I think that's more like classical Battlefield, where if you want to run a sniper rifle, you got to select recon, right? But it's open at the moment, so I can put a sniper rifle on my assault or my engineer, depending on the game mode that I go into. So moving like a spawn beacon to the assault class, then you can literally run a sniper and a shotgun, because one of their perks is having 2 primaries, and you got a spawn beacon. And I think it's the class identity is tied into this conversation about open weapons and closed weapons, which is really complex. And I just don't know how you balance that. I think the classes that do well at the moment have really strong identities in the gadgets and not in the weapons. And I think that's why Recon's probably struggling a little bit, because they've got C4, which I think is pretty classical Recon unit, behind enemy lines, throwing C4s on tanks and stuff like that. But I think a big part of a Recon's identity is being able to select a sniper rifle. And so when you give everyone the ability to choose a sniper rifle, you're like, well, why am I playing Recon then?
Yeah. I did actually really like the Battlefield 3 system, where it was assault rifles were on the assault class. You had the LMGs were on the support class, who threw down the ammo packs. The engineers got, the blowtorch or the repair tool and SMGs, and Recon got snipers. So it felt like it felt like a really good way of forcing people to play different roles because you wanted to try out these different weapons, and in order to do that, you had to cross class boundaries in order to try those things out. And I personally really like that system, but I don't know. I haven't had a chance to play Battlefield 6 yet, so I'm not sure how it feels out. But I can understand your frustration. Why that would feel like you're sacrificing a big part of what makes Recon unique when you give snipers away to everybody else.
So
Mm.
I think kind of where I'm sitting right now, if they're gonna keep the open classes where every class can use any weapon, I think the gadgets just have to be really strong for their identity. And if they
Sure.
can nail that, then you're groovy. And I think they're probably having trouble with that right now for what we've seen, like gadget wise. Engineer
Yeah.
support, great. Like their role and their gadgets are very strong. I think sniper and assault. I mean, assault's probably okay too because you got the two primary weapons. People running shotguns, assault rifles, the adrenaline. So we will see. I'm also kind of interested in veterans' opinions. I've been trying to read up online and see what other people think, but like it feels very split anyway. And I think overall, I think it is harder to balance with open weapons. With anyone can do
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
Because like if you think about like a big open map, like so one of the maps has a fair few tanks. Like tanks keep spawning in, so engineers become incredibly valuable. And previously, I would be probably only use like SMGs, right? I'd be stuck on SMGs or engineers. So like I would have huge
Right.
value for taking out anti-tank, but big open map, I gotta play it really safe with like getting close to infantry and making sure I can take out those guys by getting a little bit closer because I've got less range on an SMG. But now
Yeah.
I just run an assault rifle, I'm smashing infantry, and I can smash tanks.
So it's like no
So
downside from picking.
I'm loving it, but I
Yeah.
think that is harder to. I think that is harder to
Harder to
balance
balance
no
for
doubt.
sure.
the
Yeah.
classes and stuff. I played a bunch because you could actually first weekend you could choose. They gave you a closed weapon conquest and they gave you an open weapon conquest. While it felt different for me, I probably couldn't really tell. Did I see less shotguns? Did I see less like during the closed rounds? Did I see less? Was I killed less by like meta weapons? I don't know if I can really tell you. Like it didn't feel crazily different. I think they're gonna have to dig deep in the stats and I don't know, make a decision to go one way or the other. Because or keep two playlists if people want to kind of do more classical. I think I don't know though if it's splitting the population is a good idea. I mean, they had 500,000 concurrent players on Steam, so it didn't really matter for the beta, but there are a lot of playlists already, so
That was one of the craziest things about Battlefield 3 is just that their player base was so huge that they were just like, yeah, you can buy your own servers, host your own servers, and your own special game modes and all that stuff, and there was still plenty population to make those things work really well.
yeah. I think that's the only other. So yeah, there's obviously a little bit of conversation around like class balancing and what we're just talking about, and maybe seeing some bigger maps with more vehicles on them. And then I think the last thing is talking about like server browsers, because I don't think they're going to have like server browsers. It's going to be like you select what you just get match made, right? You don't click on a server and go into that. You just click I want to play Conquest and it will find a match for you. And I guess the criticism for that is, well, what if I've got more than 3 friends? Because you're right now you go into games in teams of 4. So I don't think there's a way that you can get all, if you've got more than 3 other friends, how you could all get into the same server and play all on the same side.
Who has more than 3 friends? That sounds exhausting and
Apparently
difficult.
a lot of gamers do. 'Cause
I don't believe them. I think they're just wanting to
Ina.
complain about something.
My
They
core
found something.
group of the 4 of us, all best friends for now over a decade. That's the reason we never played Destiny together. Like I've never been able to get them because we game together usually about 3 nights a week for 10 years straight, and we can never play Destiny because there's 4 of us. So I like the Battlefield's always been a great game for us to play because of the squads of 4. It's been a great system.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
So overall, though, having a lot of fun. Feels very. There's a lot of it that I like. I don't. Everyone's kind of holding their breath, going, "How is EA gonna fuck this up?" Everyone's like,
they're gonna do it. I know they
Yeah.
will.
Don't do it, AI. Don't bloody do it.
The price tag on launch is $120. Gosh.
No.
Yeah. Just waiting to see the battle passes and all the other shit that's
Yeah,
gonna be
right.
chucked in there. Yeah.
People are
But
loving
overall-
it. Like I saw people someone in my chat was like, I'm setting my alarm for 4 a.m. so I can get up and start playing Battlefield right away. Like they are addicted, loving it.
Yeah.
And it's good
It
to
feels
see,
good.
honestly, because
Oh,
one,
yeah.
Battlefield hasn't been like really good and people loved it in a long time. But also, I feel like you just don't get a lot of first person shooters that come out, whether they're brand new or like, a returning franchise that people are really excited about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's
Call
good
of
to
Duty, I mean.
see all the
It's
positive
running
stuff
it's
for
running
once.
really well too. Like
It's
it runs well.
optimized very well.
That's great.
Yeah, and obviously I feel like they were very confident going into this beta too as devs. They're like, we're just gonna lay it all out there, have fun with it, and they felt like they were coming into it really strong and confident, and you got to respect that too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't get a chance to play that because I was playing the new, the big expansion to the game, the First Ascendant.
I'm very
NetEase.
curious to hear how it's been for you after not playing for a while and how it
Yeah.
is now.
So I've stayed up to date with like just what's happening in the game because I covered it on launch. I did enjoy the initial grind. And the first 2 seasons seemed interesting, but not like, oh wow, gotta get in there and play some more. But season 3, they were like, we're calling it season 3, but it really is like an expansion. And so comparing it to the content in season 2, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is way more content. Like new story beats, a whole new region of the map with new, and
Nice.
it's sort of like, the Dreaming City in Destiny when it came out. It was designed to be an end game patrol space.
Yeah.
Like you had to even unlock the ability to go there. That's what the new season 3. It's called the something plains. What is it called? Oh shoot, I should know this because I just played like 20 hours straight of it all weekend. Anyways, yeah, the new region itself pretty big, but it's got like the monster level there is 190, which if you're not connected to the game, that would be like a Destiny activity where they're like, yeah, this is like raid modifiers are on.
Damn.
It's like raid tier. So even just to get into the patrol space, I had to play a lot of other content that I had missed out on just to like level up to the point where I could handle monster level 190. But then once I got in there, it was like, okay, these are actually some pretty good challenging activities to do. They introduced their first like 8-person, almost like a raid boss, like an 8-person raid boss.
Nice.
Which was cool. They call them colossi, the colossuses that come from the other dimension or whatever, and into ours. He's called the Wall Crasher. You fight him in like this giant, Roman Colosseum style arena almost, and it's like a half-hour fight. The time limit on it is a 30-minute time limit just to take one boss down. So it's girthy. But anyways, I was the most clothed person in any activity I was doing because I knew this about the game, but apparently all their like paid skins are basically like, let's just cover up the things that we would otherwise have to blur and nothing else. That's it.
Ultimate protection.
Yeah. So it's like I'm my wife was laughing because I was chuckling about it. I was like, I'm the most clothed person here. She comes in, she looks at my screen, she's like, oh yeah, you really are. I look like I'm a chick, but I'm like all this soldier gear, big toxic gun. I play as Freyna as my main. I just like poison stuff in games.
Yeah.
But anyways, they've got so much new stuff, like quality of life stuff in that game that wasn't there on launch, and I think it fixes a lot of the reasons people disengage with it. They're like, it's too grindy. Unlocking. It felt like on launch, you could spend a lot of time rolling the RNG dice just to unlock a new character that you wanted to play, or you could just buy them. Haha.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was really heavily in favor of you should just buy them. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But they introduced like a target farming system where one of the features on launch that's always been in the game is that they have a full database in the game of every piece of gear, loot, mods, everything is in game, and you can just search through. So if you're looking for something, you're like specific, you're like, I need something that's going to ramp up my toxic skill power. You just type it in, and it's going to here's every piece of gear in the game that has an effect on that stat value. And then you click on that item and it tells you what activity it's connected to. And you can just launch it straight from the database. So you don't even have to like open up your map and go there. That system's always been there, which I think is great. But now when you're like, I need this material to unlock the new character, you select it as your targeted reward. And what it will do is like every time you complete the activity, it'll start filling up a meter. Where if you're just unlucky, eventually that meter is just increasing your chances of getting it until it's a guaranteed drop. So there's like a hard cutoff where at this point, we're just giving it to you because you've been so unlucky. And so that's really helped with being able to unlock these characters instead of throwing money at the screen. And now they're like making up for it. They're like, if we'll have skins that you're going to want to throw money at the screen anyways, because it's a string bikini and thong, and we know you're gonna buy it. So, so they're like, we'll just let you unlock the character, the natural way, and then you'll pay us for these other things. But there's a ton of other quality of life stuff too, besides the target farming system, which I think that's a big deal for a lot of folks. But they also have like companions in the game now. They have like these dogs. There's like a German Shepherd you can unlock, all the different versions of the dogs. And at first I thought it was like just a cosmetic thing. But the more I played, I was like, everyone's running these things. And they look like they're doing something. So I looked into it. And it turns out the dog, like you can set it up to auto dismantle all kinds of gear for you. So, because inventory management in that game is insane. Like you complete one activity and you get 60 drops. And I'm not exaggerating. You literally get 60 drops in a single activity. And then after the end of the activity, you have to go in there and do stuff, or else your inventory is going to fill up, right? You're like, I got to take care of these 60 items. You go through them all line by line to see which ones you want to keep, which ones you don't want to keep, which ones you want to sell, which ones you want to dismantle. But you can basically just set up your dog companion to handle all the gear that you don't want. And it'll just sift through it. It'll auto dismantle it, collect it, and all that business, and free up your inventory space for the things that you actually are looking for, which is
I like games that do that, but you got to give them the tools to like sort through that stuff, because then it's like, I'm not reading through everything. Path of Exile, you can install literally loot filters like, yep, I'm looking for crit chance and whatever, and then don't show me anything else. I don't need it.
And
that's
they've got
cool. Dog does it for you.
And like,
it's nice when it's an animal doing it.
It is nice, yeah. And like Jess is saying in chat, they do have events going constantly. And since I hadn't played in a long time, first thing I did was I checked my mailbox, and they're like, here's a ton of gear for free that has just been sitting here. We've sent you over and over and over again. And it's just been stockpiling. So when I logged in and I just hit collect all rewards, I had so much enhancement materials that I would have had to grind to get. I had millions of gold, millions of Kuiper, and I was able to basically, I never had to go resource farming. I could just go target farming the gear I needed, and then I had everything I needed to just enhance those things that the game just sent me for free. So it cut out a lot of the busy work. So I could get into the content faster. Even though it is an end game space, I was able to get there within a couple of days of, refining my build. But anyways, all in all, I had a good time with the game. It's pretty fun. It's a gear grinding game. So if that's your vibe, and there's so many builds, there's so many characters you can play. I don't know the exact number, but there's dozens now. There's well over 20 playable characters. All of them have their own unique approach to combat. And the new character, Nell, is one that's been in the game since launch. I won't spoil the story beats, but we do know because they put it in their marketing. Yeah, I won't spoil how it happens, but it was part of their promotional content. She ends up being a descendant. She gets descendant powers. So she's the newest character, and her whole kit is really cool. It's all about there's a lot of characters in the game that are about spreading a status effect of some kind throughout the entire map. But Nell is really about, I'm going to be the queen of a small region of the map that I declare as my space. And she locks it down with gravity magic that pulls everything in, causes localized detonations, So she's really good at like specific pockets. Like if there's because the way that they do combat in First Ascendant is a lot of times you have a giant arena with bad guys everywhere, but there are yellow bars in specific locations. So if you're the guy
Right.
that's just spreading a debuff throughout the whole crowd, you're not providing a lot of value at that specific part of the battlefield that is heftier targets. And Nell can go in there and say, okay, well, this pocket of yellow bars, they're mine, and really lock it down, pull them all into a localized location. And then there's a scan that every character has in the game. But what she does is when she activates her scan, it like you can play with the percentages based on your build, but you can like quadruple your gun damage on things that you scan. So she can make like target priorities, and she can also buff her allies' abilities to do damage to those things too. So, anyways, it makes her a really powerful descendant with her own like niche, ability. Because like the character I run is really about crowd control, and then we get to the end of the activity, and it's the bosses, and I'm like, I already did my part. The rest is on you. And at that point, it's really nice to have a Nell on the team that can debuff the bosses and help us do big damage. All this to say, I had a good time with it. I thought it was pretty good content, and it's free to play, and they even have a free boost. So if you're like, I haven't played in forever, and I don't have a character that's even close to being end game, they have a boost that will give you a descendant for free that you would otherwise have to unlock, and give you some end game gear so that you can at least compete in most end game activities, and you'll be on fast track towards making it into the new content.
I'm glad
Nice.
they're sticking with it. Yeah. 'cause
I did not think First Ascendant was going to live.
Yeah, I'm glad that they wanted to make a live service game, and they wanted to actually like continue to update it
Yeah.
and keep it going, because so many are like, just release it. Up, did it make us $7 billion? So we're
Yep.
getting
See
rid
ya.
of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
it was pretty rough. Like the early access or whatever we played the preview,
It
like
was
it was pretty rough.
it was rough. Yeah.
To the point of like it put me off actually ever playing it, which is maybe a shame. Because I don't have
Probably a
another
game
Goonie
you'd
game at
like.
the moment.
It's probably a game you'd
You
like.
might enjoy it now, yeah. You might.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's all free content, which I appreciate.
Yeah, true.
So there's no harm in giving it a shot. The only thing you'll lose is time.
The most valuable resource ever.
Yeah.
I don't. I've got more games I played. You gonna say
Yeah,
something?
what
Else?
else you got?
I wanted to just touch on the Wilds update, because I think it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
most substantial one in terms of gameplay and things to try and work towards and get. So they put out an update recently that adds a new difficulty of monster. So now we're on 9 stars, which is a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, how's it
that's
feeling now?
high. I think since they've been doing 8 stars for sure, I've been like, no one's ever gonna say anything about difficulty again. Like, some of these monsters are. There's some I'm not gonna fight, like Gormagala. I'm not fighting 9-star Gormagala. I'm not fighting 9-star Mizu. No, thank you. I will not, because like it's just absolutely crazy. So they added this new difficulty level, and they will appear randomly on your map, and they drop a new material that can turn into talismans. So those are the things in your build that, you can have like one perk on it. But now you're getting random talismans, and they can have like 3 skills on it, and they can have decoration slots on them. So you're just farming these very tough monsters that have more health. They don't get wounds as often, and they don't get knocked down when you pop wounds, unless it's like a blue wound, which is a tempered wound. They have more health, they do more damage, they're more aggressive. So you're farming these monsters, and you're getting materials that will then give you random talismans, and you're looking for something that is gonna, it's like a min-max thing for your build. Like, if you're
Yeah.
still using regular talismans, you're not gonna be like crazy underpowered compared to those who have these specific ones. But it's a really nice thing to go after, because WoW's combat is a ton of fun. The monsters are really well made. Monsters are all really fun to fight. All the new ones they're bringing out are also really well done and really fun. You just need to give us a slight reason to play. we'll be there playing a lot, and this is definitely doing that. So yeah, you can farm them. You can get talismans. You can also go to the melder and feed all of the talismans you don't like to them to get more talismans. So yeah, it's been a ton of fun. It's been a blast.
Good.
Loved it.
Has people been returning to like jump back into wilds with the
Um,
introduction of harder monsters?
I haven't looked at player numbers, so I actually have no idea what it's looking like. But yeah, I think it's all over the place really because people will return for like a title update because there'll be new monsters, or
Yeah.
some people will be like, I'm gonna wait for 2 or 3 title updates, then I'll come
Everything
back.
to be
Some
there,
people will
yeah.
be like, I'm gonna wait until there's an update where I feel like, okay, this is a good amount of stuff for me to do. So I think people are returning at all different points. But I think if you
Right.
haven't played since like especially the end of the campaign or you've just been waiting in general, I think now is a really good time because we've had 2 major title updates that have brought 4 new monsters. We've got art tempered monsters which brings like more armor for you to go after. We've got this talisman thing that you can do now as well, and there's going to be a new title update with more new monsters in like a month. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's been a good time. It's been a
Copy
very
that.
good time. And the monsters that they are bringing are just so well done. They're really, really good. Like my favorite monster to fight in the game now is Seregios, and he came with the last title update.
Okay.
Yellow Monkey said a bigger return for this update than title update 2 on Steam.
Okay, slowly building back up.
Huge. This
Yeah, no
happens
more
with every
complaints
Monster
about
Hunter. Well,
no more complaints
World was a little different, but because it was the first time that kind of that caught on the in the West. But this does happen a lot with Monster Hunter. It comes out, people are like, "Dad, where's the game?" And then they do title updates, and then the expansion comes out, and they're like, "This is the best game ever." And I remember because I was playing Rise, and people were saying how much they hate Rise, and Rise sucks, and Rise has no content. And now the story about Rise is like totally different. So it
Yeah,
literally
let us
happens every
slowly
year.
build up. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I played another Rogue Light, which are just very numerous. I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot
There's
of
a
Rogue
lot
Lights.
of them.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot.
This one's pretty good. It's called Dead Zone Rogue. It's got a fair few positive reviews on Steam. I'm just gonna have a quick look. It is, I guess people were saying boom, a bit closer to boomer shooter. I definitely
Oh, yeah.
going from like Battlefield to this. I'm like, oh, there's no aim assist in this bad boy. I've actually got to like, you know, hit me shots. But yeah, I had a really good time. I only did the first kind of area. I think it had good progression. You can also play co-op, which I think is probably one of the more distinctive features about it, because a lot of these games are usually like solo experiences, but you can have multiple friends like go through and take these bosses on. Yeah, it's
What's the
got
general
6,000 very
aesthetic?
positive reviews, and it came out 3 days ago.
What's the
So-
aesthetic of the game? What like medieval, fantasy,
Looks like
shooter, future shooter,
Sci-fi Doom. Sci-fi Doom.
sci-fi
yeah.
Doom. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then the builds, I think the builds are probably pretty standard for a roguelite. Like you can build into like elemental or crit or like weak spot stuff. Yeah, you have gear drop from enemies, and then you have these little like buy stations as well. So if you don't get what you want, you can like kind of upgrade your gear that you've already got, and then or you can re-roll certain gears as you go through. You've got permanent unlock. I think all pretty like standard affair, but it's a good, like it feels good to shoot. It feels good when you get like a build going. I had some insane luck with a run and just had all these like lightning things procking off each other, which is how I got through like the first zone and beat the first boss. It's just like lightning bolts procking and effects and everything falling over. So it feels pretty cool. They added recently another difficulty thing, like a zone 3. So I'm keen to see what that looks like as well. But I would recommend, I think it's at a good price point. I think if you like roguelites, it's worth your time. It's $28 Australian at the moment. So it's probably $20 US, something like that.
Yeah, that's
Maybe a bit
nothing.
less.
It's really
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, and I played probably 4 to 6 hours, something like that, and had a good time. Had a good time.
Good. Always good to hear.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
About
there's a
you,
lot-
Briar?
There's a
I recently discovered the world of Special Forces YouTube. Have you guys seen any of this? These are the
I have
cattiest.
not.
They are the cattiest motherfuckers you've ever seen in your entire life. All they talk about is who won what medal and who didn't deserve it and who left, like who's lying about what books they wrote and what movies they come out. It's like gossip for gun lovers. It's amazing.
Everyone loves gossip. Everyone
Yeah.
loves a little bit of goss, no matter who you are. It's like a human trait. Can't help it.
It is
So what's the hot goss this
outstanding.
week then?
What's the hot goss in special forces?
Like I don't feel like I should repeat this kind of stuff because I'm not like
Yeah.
familiar enough with the names. But these people go hard on, oh, this person's lying, ran away from a fight where they wrote a book and had a movie and actually left like people
Oh, they're like
dead.
pirate software, but where it matters.
Yeah, like left people dead in the field or dying in the field. Like they said they were dead
Jesus Christ.
when they left and got evacuated, but they didn't die until like 10 days later, but nobody was out there looking for them because this guy said they were dead. Like all sorts of crazy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
And damn, they go hard after each other and there's like all these there's a whole YouTube like kind of subculture about like just. And then they fight between like the Navy SEALs don't like the Green Berets and don't like the Delta Force guys, and because who's tougher, who's got the most tattoos. Good stuff.
Yeah, well, what's your training?
We're always in
like?
for a ride with whatever conspiracy Bri's on this
Brian's
week.
always
Whatever
gonna
Brian
bring
has
some wild-
discovered this week, yeah. It's always going to be a wild journey.
It's good. YouTube, YouTube doesn't fail. It brings the trauma.
On a similar note, I for the very first time heard an ad for YouTube on radio. I'm like,
What?
Really?
Oh,
what?
that's
Why
weird.
is YouTube advertising? And then I heard that the Australian government was we introduced like these quite strict like social media laws.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I think that there's definitely good for that because like social media is definitely fucking up lots of kids. Anyway,
Fair.
but YouTube was then added to the list. And I was like, oh my, so you can't have a YouTube account. So I don't even know what that's going to do, but you can't have a YouTube account if you're under 16
Interesting.
in Australia. Yeah.
I
Even
heard
to
also
view
the
advertising.
yeah, for anything. So I saw that YouTube is now doing like AI learning to see if it can tell if you what age you are. So, because obviously someone can be like, I am
Brian, you're
totally
safe. You're safe,
17.
Brian.
Like Target.
I'm 17.
Target knows
for
you're
sure.
pregnant before you do, based on your
Oh,
searches.
probably. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
YouTube knows how
Yeah,
old
so
you are.
they're based on like, I guess, it could be based on a bunch of things, how you talk, what you're interacting with, what you search for, that we like, this person's clearly 12.
Yeah.
Lock him up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're playing First Ascendant and Goon and Gooner, huh? Kids is a
I know in England for a bunch of things you have to upload ID to use certain things. And there's a bunch of countries that are doing that now, uploading ID to these different.
That's
There
so
was,
so backwardly stupid. So you have to
There was
upload
a-
your ID, your real ID.
I don't want to upload my ID to some random company,
No,
please.
there's-
Yeah,
data
there was a
breaches
conversation
constantly.
about this to do with video games because I think there was a survey that said something like if you had to upload your ID to play a game, but it would reduce cheaters or something like that, would you do it?
No.
And I don't know. Sorry, I don't have the punchline here. I don't know what the results were, but I think
I'm
people
sure it
were
was
like,
yes. Yeah.
I think it was yes. Yeah, I think it was yes. Yeah, I don't. I don't trust someone with me ID.
No, I don't either.
I mean, look how many times Sony gets freaking hacked. I mean, I guess they've already got
Yeah,
my credit
that's-
card, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
I remember it was a few years ago now. My wife had her identity stolen, and the dude had made tons of purchases and whatnot. And I can tell you that it is a pain in the keister to
Oh,
undo
it's
all the damages
brutal.
that these
Oh,
people can do.
man.
It is a massive pain.
I had 3
Um,
credit cards get nailed all at the same time. So they just completely ran up the bill on all 3 credit cards all at the same time.
Yeah.
And they did it within, as far as I can tell, about 6 hours.
Well, and we found out their identity was stolen because the person was collecting unemployment checks for her identity. And then
Oh my god.
Wow.
and then the office contacted us and was like, "We've just become aware that you are full-time employed, and so you owe us a lot of money."
Oh
And
shit.
we were like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh my god.
That's how we found out. Yeah. So, but the crazy thing was like they eventually found the guy that did it, and we were told when we went, because you have to file a police report when this happens, right? And we were told at the police station, they're like, they won't find this guy, by the way, just so you know. Like, don't ever expect this. Like, you're not on the hook for anything anymore now that we've verified that, we've identity
That's
was
the only
stolen.
thing the
But
police report is for, right? Is to like.
that's right. Just to exonerate you from those charges and stuff. But anyways, they got the guy, which was wild. But the cool thing was like the day that she got a letter that was like, "You're invited to the trial because you're one of the victims." And she was like, "I really want to go," but it was like logistically we couldn't make it happen.
So they were
she was kind of
local
like,
to
"I
you
kind of
as
want
well?
to."
Yeah, I want to know who this is. Like, I want to be there.
I think it was. I don't remember where it was going to take place, but I think it was more of a timing issue than it was a location issue. But anyways, they got the guy and he's doing time. But
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was a crazy
crazy.
process. It's a nightmare. So all this to say, yes, I am very much not in favor of putting my like sensitive information in the hands of other people and trusting that they're going to safeguard it and be responsible with it.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's I think it's more and more important for us to protect our data, use the safest forms of buying things, because now, I mean, there's no getting around buying things online. I remember in like the early 2000s, like you'd be like a little wary, like, should I put my credit card on this? Now I see people using their debit card to buy stuff online. I'm like, you are insane. That is a dumb thing to do. That is your money. That is your checking account. It's not like a credit card where they empty you out and you're like, oh well, I'm not paying this. No, you now can't buy food or you can't pay your rent because you use your debit card. Don't use your debit card online. Don't
I use
own
my
a
debit card for
card.
everything.
Really, debit card is not a good idea.
I don't have a credit card.
You don't have a credit card?
No, never had one.
So do you use a debit card online?
Yep.
That's probably not a good idea.
Well,
because if that gets,
I don't really buy anything online, and if I buy something, it's always from, for a PC. I go to like the PC shop. I always use.
The problem with using a debit card online is if it gets compromised, if somebody gets a hold of that information, they take your money, right? As opposed to a credit card where they charge the credit card company, you dispute it. They've never gotten access. They haven't taken your money, right? I mean, they've taken your time because now you got to deal with it.
I mean, if you did get done with a fraud, you're still going for the same stuff. I mean, I get what you're saying.
You still have to deal with the fraud part of it. But for instance, my wife's debit card got compromised actually right when we met. It was happening, and they cleaned out her bank accounts. Like, she just had no money, and she had to wait, I think, months to get it back from the bank because they had to do an investigation. Whereas with a credit card, you still have to go through that investigation, but your bank accounts aren't empty. Don't use a debit card; they're bad. Don't use them.
When I first moved here, like, obviously I didn't have any credit at all, so I had to get like a baby's first credit card in order to start getting credit, so I could literally buy anything because, like, can't get an apartment, can't get a car, can't get a phone if you're doing, unless you're just dropping like piles of cash down, but usually not the case.
Yeah, I
maybe
just
it's
say
a bit different. Like, you can use debit cards for phones and everything here.
Yeah, you can use them. They work like credit cards, with the big difference being that they access your bank account as opposed to a credit account. So if it gets compromised, they're stealing money out of your account, especially if they're like, if you have it linked to your savings account, like if it's all in the same system, it's very, very dangerous.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I don't. buy a lot of stuff online.
Yeah, I mean,
just don't.
I hear you.
Yeah, I never had
This
a
is a different
credit card.
conversation about credit cards and young people getting hooked on credit cards and spending outside their
Yeah.
limits.
No.
Like,
Credit cards are a
there's a whole
scam too. It's
part,
like, I mean, you really, which the way you want to use a credit card is to pay it off month to month, right? Once you start
Yeah,
accruing interest, you're just you're paying for nothing. You know, you're just it's a it's a minefield, and it's hard to walk, and it can so easily get away with you, especially in today's environment where things cost so much, like on a day-to-day basis, and so many people are living paycheck to paycheck. The number in America is insane. It's like 60 or 70% of people are living
Yeah, it's
paycheck to
wild.
paycheck. So like
Yeah.
anything goes wrong, and you are suddenly saddled with debt.
It-
Like, you know,
Mhm.
like if you're a
it's okay, let's
homeowner,
make more Destiny. I just go back to Destiny lore.
yeah. You know, like if you're a homeowner and like, you know, something goes wrong, like you need a new roof, or, you know, you need a water boiler, and all of a sudden you need like, oh, I need 10
Our
grand
freaking
fast.
window got cracked. And
Yeah.
like, you know, what can you do about it? Like, it was like a rock flew, it was windy, window got cracked, and it's not cheap to repair like
Yeah.
a double, triple paned window.
Right. And then, you know, like if you're in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck, you know, you got kids to feed, you know, the bills are, you know, you gotta pay an electric bill, you gotta pay a water bill, you gotta
Yeah.
pay the mortgage, you gotta pay the car payment, otherwise you can't get to work. And then you need to
And
somehow
late fees are
find
nuts.
$10,000 for a new roof or a new water heater or something. Like you have to go to a credit card, or you have to take some kind of loan, and then you're saddled with that debt, and you're saddled with that interest. And it's just, and then you have to somehow pay that off. It's just a brutal system.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, a lot of people can't get out of it without going into bankruptcy, which, you know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden you're starting from scratch.
Yep.
Let's talk to a financial. We have a financial advisor because we definitely want to be able to like retire, and we want to plan and be optimize our cash flow business. But our advisor, last time I met with him, he was like, "I've got a client who is $77,000 of credit card debt," and he's like, "It's all of his money just to he's
Pay the
not even
interest.
paying. He's not even paying the card off. He's just delaying it with all the money that he's got at this point."
Jesus.
And he's like, "I'm trying to help fix this guy's problem." Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want to fall into that trap.
No, it's awful.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you, Mylon. I don't trust
we
him
can
either.
go anywhere with Bryce's conspiracy YouTubes, and we've fallen into a bit of life debt.
I am with you, Mylon. It's like I don't trust credit cards, but it's good to have one at least for an emergency. You know,
I
just
think
in
having one
case.
for emergency, I can get with that. You know, I mean, we're talking about like how you raise and stuff like that. Like I was always only ever spending in my limit, and I've just somehow got through with never needing to get extra loans. I've always had shit cars. I've only ever bought cars outright with the money I've had and saved up with, and
I've
been
never
lucky,
bought
and
a
I
brand
think,
new car, man. Yeah.
and you know, if you get injured here, we've got healthcare and we've got hospitals, public hospital systems, so there's no huge like.
I just
you
for
know,
the first
emergency
time in
bills
my
there.
life bought a brand new car with cash. It was the first time
Did
I
ya?
ever did it, and it was so nice to have that negotiating power. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird when you go to buy a house because they look. I don't think we actually have like a credit. Well, I guess we have a credit score. I don't know. They're like, "What's your credit score?" I don't know. I've never had, never needed one. It's kind of funny because it should be
When you bought a
better
house,
that I've
you
never
didn't have
needed a
to
credit card.
know all that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, no,
No,
it's
I was
not.
like-
It's like if you pay off a car or you pay off your
They
mortgage,
want to
you
actually
take a
see that
hit
you've
to
had
your
debt
credit.
and you've paid it back, rather than like I've never
It's
had debt.
it's just a way for them to it's a way for them to it's stupid. It's just a way for them to see like, oh, this person has money to consistently pay a thing. So we can trust like that they're gonna pay their rent over this person who has no financial history.
Yeah, many years
very
ago,
silly,
a
and I
financial
hate it.
advisor told me that you should have a credit card that you are paying just the interest off, a small amount, just to show that, because that will build your credit. But you know, I'm kind of with you. It's like, what do I need credit for?
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? You kind of. I feel like you need to go on a conspiracy credit card, like because
you
I
don't
think
have
you're
to.
part of
It's
the
like
system.
right out
You're
there.
part of the system, Brian. Break free.
You don't have to.
Well, it's
The conspiracy is 25% interest. That's the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the conspiracy is like when we were looking into buying our house, don't know about you guys, don't have like hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting around to throw cash at a but a house.
Yeah.
But I wasn't involved in any of that financial stuff because I made it worse. Even though I'm like making money every year, I can show that I have an income.
Oh,
I made it
man.
worse. So but whereas if I did
financial
it now, it's
advisor's
been like 10 years of
brain.
building credit. So
Yeah.
it'd be different. But
Me
back
trying
then
to
it was
explain
not.
YouTube to the fucking mortgage broker.
Yeah, that
they're
was a
like, huh?
nightmare, dude.
It was harder
That's a
10 years ago than it is now. I mean, I remember going to
Yeah.
get my taxes
Yeah.
done, and the guy's like, I don't know what to do with your taxes. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, I guess you're an entertainer, but you get
Are you a male
tips?
stripper on the internet?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
like
what you do?
it was just
Well,
confused.
My income was even considered worse because it was something like being an international income because I was getting paid
Oh,
basically from America because I would get paid from Amazon, I get paid from Google,
Uh-huh.
and then sponsors were also American too. So like it was under this high risk like income stream. It was called international income or something like.
Fucking taxes every year are just like, I don't know. I hope so. I hope I got it right.
I'm so paranoid about just innately paranoid about the IRS. So my guy that I go through to file taxes was an auditor for the IRS. And he now
Nice.
handles people's taxes.
Oh man.
And
Amazing.
that's the reason I trust him is because I'm like, you will not let me get audited, right? He's like, no, I did it for 50 years. I know what that is. I know what that process is like, who they target, and what flags people send up without knowing it. And I will not send up those flags. Like, good, thank you.
I had an accountant who called the IRS and like on the phone, they're like, "Hey, this is a little wonky. What do you think?" And they're like, "No, don't do that." I'm like, well, you made that phone call. I guess I'm not sure. Is that like calling the cops? Like, "Hey, is this legal?" Who's calling? No, nobody, sir.
Where are you at right now?
Yeah. Those special forces videos, they all say the most feared special force in America is the IRS.
They'll get you.
Anyhow,
Get a credit card, children.
I don't know, man. Like I hear you, Mylon, but like using a debit card online is, I think, a bad move.
I've never
I
thought
don't
about
even
You
want to do
watch,
it
I'll
for getting
fucking
gas because like the gas is very known for having fake things where you put your card
Yeah,
on and
it's
it
the card
reads your
scanners.
card.
Yeah.
Card scanners, yeah. So
Yeah.
even stuff like
Yeah.
places where it's really common to have that kind of stuff.
So
Yeah,
we
convenience
actually
stores.
have
Yeah.
so Walmart partners with a ton of different gas stations. We basically get 10 cents off gas at there's like 3 different branches of gas stations. And those are the only ones we go to because we pay on the app we pay Walmart on the app on the phone. And then it communicates to the pump. These people paid, and it'll just let you pump.
That's
so we
sick.
never have to scan
Nice.
anything.
That is nice.
That is cool. I hate paying for gas.
TLDR, the only time you
I know,
want to get
right?
a credit card is when you can pay a credit card off. You don't want to get a credit card when you have no money and are going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I just warn against using a debit card. Like, I just think it's really dangerous, especially like, it can really get you in big trouble, especially if most of your money is in your checking account, not in your savings account. It can really cause an issue if that gets compromised. Because, the money you now have to fight to get your money back as opposed to the credit card fighting to get their money back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sorry. I'll stop harping on this now.
I mean, he has a
I feel like I'm
house,
talking
so
about Dad.
he's fine. If you were like if you didn't have a house, it might be a little something you'd want to start building up, maybe.
You gotta wake up tomorrow morning, Mylan, and Briar's gonna be in your dining room, glasses on, looking at like your financial documents. I've been waiting for you to get in here, Mylan. We got to go over some of this stuff.
I am not that guy.
He would have found his debit card and rinsed it dry. You see, Mylan? You see?
I am not that guy. I'm
Teach me a
the
lesson.
worst. I am the worst at financial planning. I'm the worst. I can't even pay bills on time. I have to have them all like auto do the bills because I cannot remember to do it on time. Like I just can't. It's not in my nature. I have to have them auto pay.
We like moved house and our bills for like registration of the cars went to the old house, and Danny and I were driving around for 12 months with no registration. And I can't remember how it worked, but yeah, we had to go through, like, the cars had to go over call them the pits. I don't know what it's in the US, where you have to have them like checked out by an engineer or a mechanic.
Yeah.
To confirm that they're roadworthy, and you got to go down to the Department of Transport and like renew everything and have all your license and everything like that. Absolute drama.
Yeah, we've had to do that too. We actually we pay our insurance every 6 months. And we just didn't know that it had lapsed. And one day my wife just happened to like mention, "Hey, when's the last time you paid the insurance?" I'm like, 6 months ago. So they have an app on your phone now. And I look on the app, lapsed. I'm like, oh, great. We've been driving around for who knows how long with no fucking car insurance.
Well, it's fun when it happens in your favor the other way, where when we first got married, we were like, let's just take out some basic life insurance policies. And I totally forgot about them. Just completely forgot about them. We were young, just trying to tick all the boxes. We got updated policies through a different provider later down the road. And it wasn't until I think it was like last year that I was going over some financial stuff. And I was like, why do I have 2 life insurance policies that I'm paying for? But then what happened was I was like, crap, let's go. I got to cancel. I totally forgot we did that one, 15 years ago when we first got married. I forgot about it. And then I found out that I was smart when I made the policy originally because it had cash value. So when I canceled it, I got a nice fat check.
That's nice.
Damn.
That's
Very nice.
It's just like, I mean, yeah, I paid for it technically, but it's like having a secret savings account that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
It was my money, but it was still like, hey, that feels really good.
It's nice when somebody else saves money for you, I guess. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That kind of happened with me. I moved house and I rang the insurance and like changed the house insurance, and then I eventually checked like a year later and it was still on the wrong house. Like that's insured the old house. I was like, I swear I told you. Like, all right, we'll get back to you. They went back and checked the recordings and confirmed that I did tell them that I was moving.
Really?
They
so
refunded
then I got
it?
refunded for like a year's worth of insurance on the old house, which I wasn't living at.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
I had that same thing happen to me. I sold a house.
Didn't have to tell me that.
I sold a house and I had prepaid the insurance for a year, and I just completely forgot that I had done it. And then I think my mother mentioned it to me. She's like, "Hey, did you ever get a check for the insurance for the house?" I'm like, so I got a huge check in the mail. It's like I called them up because of course they're not gonna like call you and like, "Hey, it's kind of weird that
that we owe you a lot of money."
Yeah. Never see that.
No, they're waiting for you to notice.
Yeah. Well, in Connecticut, there's like this like unclaimed cash thing that you got to check every once in a while because I've got like $800 checks that have just been like I didn't know I was supposed to get, and they just went into this like unclaimed fund in your name in Connecticut. Actually, some what was it? Streamlabs had there's like a huge check in there for me one time.
Oh, they've been taking money off you.
Yeah. Should we wrap this one up, guys?
Yeah,
we're
getting
so.
like, at the moment.
Any more financial questions anybody's got?
No,
75% of this podcast is
this has
gaming.
not been financial advice.
Yeah,
This is not financial advice. I know literally nothing.
Yeah, Watson, somebody in chat were saying the prepaid credit cards. Those are a good idea.
Yeah, if you want to make sure you don't live beyond your means, but you want to build credit, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All
Awesome
right.
show. It's great talking.
I don't know what's happening next week. Oh, Gamescom is next week.
Oh, is it really? When is it?
Yeah, opening night live is happening next week. I think it's Tuesday.
Tuesday? Awesome.
I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, so we'll have lots to talk about of
Good.
things that were announced at Gamescom and people getting hands-on with a bunch of stuff.
Yes. And on that note, Arc Raiders and from Embark actually put out a post saying, just in expectations, we're not at Gamescom. And do not expect an announcement about another beta because they kind of got everyone's hopes
Okay.
up like previously. So like just learning from our mistakes. You ain't getting Arc Raiders again until release, and we're not at Gamescom. Suck it.
They
Here's
still
a
don't have
picture
a
of the
release
stuff.
date, right?
Yeah,
They
they got a release
do.
date.
When
of
is it?
October.
Yeah.
October?
30th.
Okay.
When Mylan's baby's here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you timed that on purpose. Great job.
You could call him Ark or Raider. Good names.
Hey, I will say
Raider.
when the like newborns are kind of good for late night gaming. I remember
I did end up doing late night streams because I had to be up anyway.
Yeah. I had a lot
But-
of game sessions with a sleeping baby, like, weeks old baby on me.
It's gonna hit different an extraction shooter with the baby mouth.
That kid's gonna grow up hard. All right, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.